Hey, this is Colin Nathan Alim, the real estate boy, and welcome to Philly Fridays. Philly Fridays is where we jump into the current events happening in the Philadelphia housing market. So today we're in the Philadelphia Business Journal, where the title reads, Rising inventory is good news for home buyers. But Philadelphia's residential market is still on fire. So during this pandemic or post pandemic, in the housing market, that's all you're hearing is low inventory. Well, Philadelphia's inventory is at a good level, but the Philadelphia residential market is still on fire. So let's jump into this article and see what's going on in the Philadelphia market right now. Now, I'm a local real estate agent in Philadelphia, specialized in Philadelphia, but I'm also licensed in Delaware and New Jersey. So if you're looking to relocate to Philadelphia, I would love to help you out. All right, guys, let's jump into this article. It says, while options for Philadelphia area homebuyers continue to be scarce, there is some promise for those looking to buy in the city this spring. So, in this article, it's just telling us about okay, the market is still on fire. Philadelphia market is still on fire. But this spring, it looks like it's better than last spring. Let's go. Let's continue. It says inventory within the city limits was up nearly 5% year over year in March, according to Bright, the MLS. It's up 10% from February, while total inventory across the region hit record lows in January and February. A 7% month over month regional increase in March was the greatest gain since August, according to the MLS. So, what that means is that in Philadelphia, more homes are coming on the market and are coming on a market at a faster clip than the surrounding counties. All right. Let's continue. It says still options in the suburbs are sparse. Inventory in each of Philadelphia's four collar counties was down more than 11% last month compared to March of 2021, as for sale signs continue to come down as quickly as they go up. In Chester County, inventory was down more than 30% year over year in each of the first 3 months of 2022. So, for those of you who don't know about Philadelphia, you have Philadelphia, which is the city, and then you have the counties around it. So you have Delaware County, you have Montgomery County, you have Bucks County, and you have Chester County. So what they're saying here, and we've definitely been seeing this, is that inventory is much more sparse in the county than it is in the city. And it makes sense. During this pandemic time, a lot of people who were living in the city found out that they needed more space. So a lot of people are moving out. That's one factor. Also, another factor is the perception of crime. Now, I'm not trying to, I am not trying to downplay the crime in Philadelphia, but I do think that the news perpetuates a lot of it. So when people are hearing that, they're running for the suburbs. Okay. So the author, or not the author, but the article continues. The city, however, saw a 5% bump not only in the total active listings, but also in new listings compared to last March. Philadelphia, along with Kent County and Newcastle counties in Delaware, were the only areas in the region that saw more listings hit the market in March of 2022 than in March of 2021. Greater Philadelphia as a whole saw a 5% decrease in new listings year over year. So here we're talking about new listings, new houses coming on the market. So Philadelphia saw a bump of 5%. Also, Kent County and Newcastle County in Delaware. So if you look at Delaware, it's made up of three counties. All right. Up top is Newcastle, the middle is Kent, and the bottom is Suffolk. All right. And that's like where the beach is, the Delaware beaches. So there's a lot of new construction that's going on in, for example, Kent County and like lower Newcastle County in Delaware. So I can understand why they would see a bump because builders are building at a fast clip down there. But Philadelphia is an old city, and it's a lot of row houses, a lot of dilapidated properties, and people around America are getting wind that flippers in Philadelphia make a lot of money. I think last year there was an article where Philadelphia was like number three in the profits that flippers made. So there's a lot of dilapidated homes that people are coming into in Philadelphia, and they're fixing up and selling them. That's why I think that that you're seeing the inventory rise a little bit in Philadelphia, is because you have all of these homes, and these homes aren't big. So that's why if I'm a flipper and I'm looking to go and flip a property, I may go to Philadelphia before I go somewhere in the county, because the county homes are a little bit bigger. So anybody that does any type of investment, if the home is bigger, there's more materials that you have to buy. So I may be more prone to go into a house in Philadelphia versus a house in the county. So that could be playing a part too. So the article continues. It says home buyers looking in the city also had a bit more time to secure their home than the hurried bidding process in the suburbs. So, yes, people are, I mean, the suburbs, Bucks County, some parts of Chester County, it's like as soon as that home was on the market, it's off. The article continues. Philadelphia homes spent a median of 17 days on the market last month, the most in the region, while none of the collar counties had a median higher than 7. So, as far as the median days of the houses being on the market, Philadelphia, the median was 17 days last month. So a house, the median was only 17 days, where those other counties that I talked about, none were higher than 7. So it says, though much higher than in the suburbs, that was still a significant decrease from 29 days Philadelphia homes spent on the market in February. For the region as a whole, the median number of days on the market in March was 9, the first time it hit single digits since August. So homes are not staying on the market. So even though Philadelphia, the median was 17 days, meaning that once a home hits the market, the median in Philadelphia is 17 days. That's coming down, what they're saying here, from in February, where it was 29 days. So things are heating up. And that usually happens. That usually happens during the spring market. You see more buyers out there. Why? Because the weather's hotter. So the weather's warmer, I should say warmer. So people are out and about, and they're like, okay, now it's time to move. People are getting rejuvenated, if you want. All right. So now they talked to an agent from Coldwell Banker, who's a lifelong Philadelphia resident with properties focused within the city limits. All right. Many of his clients are city residents with children who are looking for more space in the suburbs. This agent said he sees the suburban migration as a natural progression that was sped up by the pandemic, as well as the general state of the city. I think he's saying general state of the city. I think that's a politically correct way to talk about the crime, saying because of the situation of crime in Philadelphia, it seems like it has been an increase in like carjackings in the past couple of months. During the pandemic, there was an increase in murders. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real with you, but Philadelphia is still a fantastic city. So the article continues to say, just because Philadelphia's inventory is higher than in other counties doesn't mean houses aren't being gobbled up. There are 2,056 pending sales in Philadelphia County last month, a 20% increase compared to February, but down 7% year over year. Philadelphia also saw an increase in closed sales, while each collar county besides Delaware County saw a decrease. So as far as sales, as far as things actually being closed, okay, Philadelphia saw an increase in closed sale, meaning it's more activity. And as we go into the spring season, there's going to be more activity. You also in Philadelphia, you have Philly First Home Grant coming live here soon. So that's probably one of the most popular grants. So when that hits, there's going to be a flood of people that get into the Philadelphia market. I think that's going to help the Philadelphia market also. The article continues to say there's another realtor from Coldwell Bank. I don't know why they keep going these Coldwell Bank people. Call us EXP agents also. So little jokey joke. But this other agent said that if a city home has the right characteristics, meaning parking and private outdoor space, for example, is going to fly. There is still a demand for the city. People still want the city. And this person is correct because private parking is scarce in Philadelphia. Private outdoor space is scarce in Philadelphia. Also, again, Philadelphia, I think, is the capital of the row home. So, with a row home, you don't have your own private parking space, and also you a lot of times you don't have a front yard or a backyard, and if you do, it's very small. But that's one of the reasons why people are moving out and going to the suburbs. All right, so they continue with this agent who said recently, this agent recently had a client that brought a condo for just under $300,000 in the city's Tarsdale neighborhood. They bought the condo sight unseen before it hit the market. Still, there was 4 or 5 competing offers. That makes sense. It says even as the spring market heats up, prices in the city still sit below its suburban counterparts. The median sale price in Philadelphia in March was $270,000, up from $250,000 in both February and January. Bucks and Chester counties, on the other hand, the median sales price was at or below $400,000. So you can see if you go out to some of these counties, you'll get more house, you'll get more space, you may get a better neighborhood. You will get a better neighborhood, but you're going to pay for it. All right. Bucks County and Chester County, the median sales price is $400,000 versus Philadelphia only being $270,000. I personally think that Philadelphia is still undervalued, super undervalued. So the article continues to, or the article continues to say, okay, let me get my tongue straight. It says Philadelphia is also drawing interest as a cheaper option for people relocating from other cities. Realtors say. This realtor said he's seen home buyers relocating to Philadelphia area from New York and looking to live in the city. Um, and also from California, from New York and California. And I've seen it too. From Philadelphia, not from Philadelphia, from New York, from DC. Of course, these are the two main hubs for people coming in as people telecommute more, as people work from home more. Um, they're looking for a cheaper option. So if you work in New York, okay, for example, I got a brother who lives in New York and he makes decent money, really decent money, upwards of like $150,000 a year. But um he lives in an apartment, okay, a very small apartment, a high rise apartment. So if you make that type of money, maybe in New York you can afford a cardboard box. But if you live in Philadelphia and you make $150,000, okay, you may get a nice piece of property, which is a total difference. And if you don't have to go into work or you can telecommute, you can jump on an Amtrak and be in New York in an hour and a half. Or if you want to drive, you can be in New York in 2 hours. So it been makes sense. It does make sense, and it will continue to make sense for people to move to Philadelphia. And I keep screaming this over and over and over. If you're looking at an East Coast city, Philadelphia is probably the best located city on the East Coast, if not in America. Why? Because you can get the 25% of the United States population within 5 hours from Philadelphia. All right, let's continue. So this this realtor said that people want they want a condo with a doorman. They want the easy living and being able to walk everywhere, and that's Philadelphia. That is Philadelphia. When people look at Philadelphia, what they say is that it's a big city with a small city charm. So if you live in a condo and you do have a doorman, one of the biggest knocks on Philly is the crime. That's probably one of the biggest knocks on Philly is the crime. But if you have a doorman, you kind of cut down on that. Okay. If you live in a condo and you have a doorman, then yeah, can crime still happen? Yes, but it's a smaller chance. And you live downtown, you can walk everywhere. And even if you live not downtown, I'm in West Philly, I'm in University City, and I can almost walk anywhere. And the transportation system in Philadelphia is probably second only to New York. SEPTA, which is the company that runs the public transportation in Philadelphia, always gets awards. Only people that hate SEPTA is people who live in Philadelphia. But when people from other counties and other cities come to Philadelphia, they rave about the public transportation because you can get literally almost anywhere in Philadelphia on public transportation. All right. So this realtor says also noted the benefits of having some air to breathe in the city market compared to the airtight suburban market. There are more properties to choose from in the city, and potential buyers have less of a chance of getting cornered into a bidding war and having a wave of contingencies. And I would definitely agree. In a lot of places in the suburb, now here's the thing with real estate, every home has a home run price. So it depends on how you're pricing the home. But in general, in some of these counties, like Montgomery County and Bucks County and places in Chester County, as soon as a house goes on the market, you're done. You're done because why is a person moving? In Philadelphia, somebody might be moving because they're moving out to the suburbs. And like I had mentioned earlier, I think a lot of flippers are coming into Philadelphia because you have a lot of properties. Meaning, if you're an artist, you have a bunch of canvases that you can come and um, draw your art on. So that was a bad comparison, but hey, I tried it. So down here, the last finishing up this article, it says although the market trends point to the suburbs, the two realtors aren't worried about a mass exodus from the city. They both pointed to the reciprocal nature of people wanting more space as they grow older and new faces moving in. The city is on fire, this agent said, whose properties are split down the middle in city and suburbs. The city is still thriving. And I agree. I totally agree. The city is definitely still thriving. There's people that want to be in the city. And as more of the millennial get to an age where they want to buy a house, there's some that have families earlier and they want to shoot out to the suburbs. And there's some who don't have families and they want the nightlife. So if they want the nightlife, they want to be near the action. Okay. So I think you got different strokes for different folks, as they say. The Philadelphia market is on fire. It will continue to be on fire because I feel like generally it's underpriced. But what's going to happen here soon is it's really going to get flooded once the Philly First Home grant goes live. And it should be going live any day. I don't know what's holding it up. I don't know if it's the mayor or the city council, but as soon as they let that go, there are going to be a lot more people in the market. Also, Philadelphia is a big renters market. I think the last statistic I saw, it was half and half. So you have half people are renters. So you got a big pool. You got a big pool of people. You got the renters in Philadelphia, and you also have people that's coming from outside the city who are looking to live to relocate. And again, if you're looking to relocate, I can definitely make this a smooth transition for you. So definitely call me or jump into my DMs or anywhere that you're looking at this. But to get back on topic, um, people coming into the city, they'll find what they want, and people who are moving to the suburbs will find what they want also. You have a lot of people who live in the city. As a family gets bigger, they want more space, so they generally go out to the suburbs. Okay, so all right, y'all. Again, it's Colin Nathan Aleem. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, I got you.